Top world news. Chinese scholar arrested by CCP after calling for political reform in China. Sinkhole opens near the Pantheon in Rome, revealing 2,000-year-old Roman paving stones. Luckily, no one was hurt when the sinkhole collapsed on the afternoon of April 27, because the normally crowded piazza was empty due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Top police officer requests official list of all Jews in Ukrainian city, sparking fury. He is failing. Putin's approval slides as COVID-19 grips Russia. Angela Merkel under pressure to call out Chinese abuses at September summit. Human rights are not negotiable. Vaccine may never arrive, and restrictions may have to remain for long haul, Boris Johnson admits. 400 Russian cadets infected with coronavirus after Moscow V-Day rehearsals, proked. Russia accuses US of downplaying Soviet role in World War II. The Kremlin argues the US doesn't appreciate the 27 million Soviet lives that were lost in defeating Nazi Germany. Last week, the White House only mentioned the United States and Britain as victors. Russia medical students slam forced labor in coronavirus wards. Decision to send students for training in COVID-19 wards decried, as 100 doctors reported to have died on front lines. People have been warned they are not allowed to drive from England into Wales for exercise as the two countries move to different lockdown rules. Top technology news. Apple reportedly seeking to move significantly more production from China to India. Twitter says it will label misleading coronavirus tweets, even if they're from Trump. Dutch watchdog to investigate TikTok's use of children's data. Tesla restarts Fremont car manufacturing despite county orders, coronavirus threat. 5G coronavirus conspiracy theory leads to 77 mobile towers burned in UK, report says. Working from home is here to stay, even when the economy reopens. Elon Musk defies coronavirus order and asks to be arrested. Tesla tells California employees to return to work in defiance of county orders. Deepfake's threat to 2020 US election isn't what you'd think, and if a devastating deepfake does emerge, it'll hit at the last moment. Telco customer sees internet bill more than tripled during pandemic, and she's not alone. Industry says removal of data caps is impossible due to safety reasons. Top science news. Antibodies from a 4-year-old llama have neutralized coronavirus and other infections in lab experiments. Research has found gardening at home had a similar effect on people's emotional well-being as biking, walking, or dining out. The benefits of home gardening were similar across racial boundaries and between urban and suburban residents. Autopsy findings and blood clots in COVID-19 patients. Autopsy revealed deep venous thrombosis in 58% of patients in whom venous thromboembolism was not suspected before death. The high incidence of thromboembolic events suggests an important role of COVID-19 induced coagulopathy. Men's blood contains greater concentrations of enzyme that helps COVID-19 infect cells. Finding may explain why men with heart failure suffer more from the coronavirus than women and the higher incidence and fatality rate of COVID-19 in men. Disease-carrying mosquitoes could be common in Europe by 2030. Climate change could mean mosquitoes that can carry diseases like dengue, Zika and yellow fever become established in southern Europe within 10 years. Ancient bones found in Bulgarian cave are oldest evidence of modern humans in Europe. Canterbury scientists discover new 1 in a million Earth-like planet. Your brain is not an onion with a tiny reptile inside. Misbelief in psychology that we have evolved newer brain structures over older structures, and that newer structures endow us with more complex psychological functioning, stands in contrast to unanimous agreement among neurobiologists. Researchers found that anxiety is linked to serotonin transporters operating in the amygdala. Targeting the amygdala directly with selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, may lead to more effective and faster acting anti-anxiety therapy for animals and humans. COVID-19 lockdowns significantly impacting global air quality. Nitrogen dioxide pollution over northern China, Western Europe and the US decreased by as much as 60% in early 2020 as compared to the same time last year. Interesting facts. Today I learned that when a jury convicted Jane Wenham of witchcraft in 1712, due to witnesses accusing her of flying on a broomstick and bewitching servants, the skeptical judge refused to execute her and instead sought a royal pardon, noting that there was no law against flying. Today I learned when MAB published a parody of Star Wars, George Lucas' lawyers demanded the issue be recalled and that Lucasfilm receive all revenue from the issue. Unbeknownst to Lucas lawyers, MAD had just received a letter from Lucas, expressing delight over it, and comparing the artist to Leonardo da Vinci. Today I learned the domain name .tv is actually the country code domain for Tuvalu, a country in Polynesia. Due to its popularity from its similarity to television, the Tuvalu government sought to capitalize on it, and nearly 10% of its revenue comes from royalties from TV addresses. Today I learned John Carmack, founder of id Software known for his work in the development of Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein, was arrested at the age of 14 for helping a group of children steal Apple II computers using a mixture of thermite and Vaseline to melt the windows to break into the building. Today I learned that Marlon Brando tried to purchase the rights to a movie about the Iran-Contra scandal using a former CIA connection. The CIA was able to derail this by creating a front company to outbid Brando for the rights. The man they put in charge of this operation was none other than Colonel Oliver North. Today I learned, after being called out on local TV, 2 porch pirates caught on camera returned a package of replica WWE belts belonging to a 5-year-old autistic boy with a brain tumor, with a note that read, "After seeing ourselves looking like Lo lives on the news, we have both decided to get clean and sober." Today I learned that a guy filed a change of address form to the USPS where he changed the address of the UPS headquarters and got all their mail sent to his apartment. It took 3 months before this was discovered. Today I learned about the herbivore men of Japan, men who have basically given up on marriage and love. They often can't afford it, and they don't want to work to death to raise a family. Instead they have hobbies, or anime or the internet, to fill up their time. Today I learned thanks to the US version of the sitcom The Office, Scranton, Pennsylvania has gone from a former coal city into a major tourist attraction, revitalizing its downtown area. Today I learned in World War II a female feudal lord took control over 275 Nazis to force them to fix up her island after German occupation ended in Sark. Shower thoughts. Being proactive is rarely rewarded, because if your actions avoid a tragedy, there is no tragedy to prove your actions were warranted. Rick Rowling has probably created more caution when clicking links than any official advice about malicious links could. The massive glass skyscrapers we see in cities around the world are actually the world's largest sandcastles. If humans could respawn, murder wouldn't be a crime and most likely be turned into a sport. You'd think we would all be amazing at falling asleep, considering we've done it thousands of times before. Being more educated about statistics makes you realize how unreliable statistics can be. The fact that so much of the earth is alive, that the color of it is affected is really neat. Having everyone in front of you go 3 to 5 miles per hour under the speed limit must be one of the most annoying parts about being a police officer. MacGyver was the world's undisputed king of life hacks. Nothing reminds you to brush your teeth like wearing a mask. News sources are in the descriptions. Subscribe for daily news content.